In today's unboxing, we take a look at Omens of the Deep, an expansion for Elder Sign by Fantasy Flight Games. Let's take a look.
There are hobbyists among us, geniuses with the ability to play any game they want to. In 1978, a corporation known as The Interior isolated a young hobbyist named John and exploited his genius for their entertainment.
Then one day, their hobbyist ran away.
Here we have Omens of the Deep. It is an expansion for Elder Sign by Fantasy Flight Games. It is part of their Arkham Horror series of games. Let's go ahead and flip it over, take a look at the other side. One of the nice things that they always have with these Fantasy Flight games is that they give you, of course it is for theirs, but as their card sleeve needs for this game. So if you want to sleeve and protect your game, it lets you know for their sleeves what you want. But then once you know which sleeves there are, it's pretty easy to then go on, see what the yellow and orange is, you know, for, say, if it's standard American, mini American, off the top of my head I can't remember which is which. But then once you know that, you can then go look at your preferred sleeve and pick that up as well. It does let us know that this is an expansion. It does require Elder Sign to play the game. A very small printed list of the components or the contents here within the box. And then some lore. Sail the open seas. A failed expedition to Nam Madal has caused an ancient and valuable text to be lost at sea. A mysterious amulet was salvaged from the wreck, and now a team of determined investigators must sail the Pacific Ocean in search of the amulet's missing pieces. But the endless deep hides many dark secrets. Enhance your games of Elder Sign with Relay Rising Game Mode. In Omens of the Deep, investigators sail the Pacific Ocean and uncover the ancient mysteries that lie within its depths, while evading an army of deep ones that are trying to destroy the ship. During their adventures, investigators must find the pieces of a broken amulet that will lead them to the corpse city of Relay and the terrors it holds. This expansion introduces powerful missions as well as new items, spells, skills, and an entourage of useful new allies. Batten down the hatches and prepare to sail the deep. Now, while I'm absolutely sure I butchered Relay, the ancient one that's going to be in here, this sounds absolutely fantastic. I love the idea of adding more to the game, adding more areas, locations for you to go to and search. So let's go ahead and crack this open to get an idea of what we have inside. All right. Well, right off the rip, we have our instructions. And we got all of our tokens, our little deck of cards, and then all of the new location cards. And just make sure there shouldn't be, yep, and nothing hidden. Alright, let's fit you back in there. Now with these cards, I will save the rest of these for the spoiler section of the unboxing, to try to keep as much hidden as possible. But until then, let's go ahead and take a look at these tokens and the new rule set. So here we have the rules, and it gives us a nice little expansion overview, all of the different components, a nice visual representation. I like that, and then a little extra lore up there. That is one of the things that I really do like about most of the Fantasy Flight games, is that they really do go on to do a good bit of lore with all their stuff. And then of course this rule set kind of opens really weird, being that's just a one print thing right here. And then it gives us the new setup. Omens of the Deep, some new icons. And some new rule set. New rewards and penalties. And then of course the credits and playing other game modes. Very cool. Here we have all of the new tokens for the game. And some new little icons right there. There we go. All of our new investigators and what have you. Very cool. Well, that is everything that you get from Omens of the Deep, my spoiler-free unboxing portion of this video. However, if you want to see more, basically the cards and locations for this deck, it's coming up. Well, up first we have our mini cards. Now the first thing that I noticed within this one is that they came in a Ziploc bag. I believe this is standard for this game, but usually in a lot of the Fantasy Flight games, they are, you know, sealed, and then they have that little blue dot to let us know that they are the English version, where here we just have the Ziploc bag. Well, here we have our Stage Mythos cards 1 and 2. We have our skill cards, we have our spell cards, we have our unique items, we have our common items, and then we have our allies. They all have these same common backs. Let's go ahead and start with the Mythos Stage 1, which we can see with that little number 1 right there. There we go. And then up next we have our Stage 2 cards. And our skill cards. And our spells. And then let's start with our common items. And our unique items. And then finally our allies. Here we have our tarot size cards. Like the minis, they came in a Ziploc bag, not sealed, again without that little blue dot, but of course these were the English versions, so no big deal. We have our adventure cards, we have our ancient ones, our investigators, then there is also a scenario card, and the entrance card. Let's go ahead and take a look at each of these. So we'll do a little moving around for a minute. It looks like they're probably gonna have that same common back. Yep. Same thing with the investigators. They'll have that same common back. Roland Banks has showed up. And then finally, we have our locations. Now these, because they do have this unique back, that's why I'm kind of doing it this way. So you can see the front and then the back. Now there are 4 special adventure cards. I believe those are for the Raylan Rising. The other thing that I've noticed is with this game, it does use a bunch of these tarot size cards. So that is something to keep in mind if you are looking into getting this game. That tarot size cards are a little more unique. People probably have a ton of minis and standards, but you might not have as many of these tarot size. So that is something that you will need to get extra of. And here we go, we can start to see some of those specials, I believe. Probably with him is where that's starting. And while these do look fairly similar, you'll notice there are slight differences. Additionally, being that this is part of that whole Arkham line, once you start adding additional games within their line, especially say Mansions of Madness, which is their miniatures game and dungeon crawl game, you will start to get figures for all of your investigators and for a lot of these monsters, and that will allow you to incorporate those into the game. So you actually have a physical three-dimensional representation of some of this stuff. And for me, whenever you can add to your game, add realism to your game, you're just going to expand on it and make it that much more fun to play. So that is another thing that I've always liked about the Fantasy Flight and the Arkham line, is that the games, in a sense, build off of each other. Again, especially if you add in that Mansions of Madness to your collection. Down to the last few. And I love this art. I mean, that's so eerie. And even this, she's a little shipwreck guy. I mean, you can see this fear, and this little, I mean, just, you know, coming up behind him. There's the other. That is everything for Omens of the Deep, an expansion for Elder Signs by Fantasy Flight Games, part of their Arkham Horror series of games. I hope this unboxing has helped you to determine if this expansion is something that you would like to add to your Elder Sign game. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later.